Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahusha HaMashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 29th of November 2023. It's 10:32 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to do a trade recap on a trade I did today in the ES. So just a recap here of the context of the market.
Stocks were on ES.
Point this out again. This was previous week's value area high, which is at 45, 41, 25. And let's see here. This is this week's value area high, which is at 45, 80, 50, right? So let's see, let me take this off. So within the context of the markets here, we have this buying climax at roughly 45.71, right? Now we had an upthrust here at roughly 45.80.50, right? And which is at the value area high, but that didn't come in when this is this week's value area high. So that didn't happen on that value area high. You know what I'm saying? It's like that happened before this level was set, right? So we had this pullback here, right? Where is it? Oh, so right here. Let me just use my arrow. Right, so after this buying climax, we had the automatic reaction here. We had this upthrust, right? And now we had some volatility, right? Which is indicative of like a phase B. And we eventually got support here at this week's value area low, which is 45, 48.75, right? So we started to make this bullish move to the upside. So as I was saying in my previous video, I'm looking for a breakout of the range and the upthrust levels here, right, which we did in the ETH. We came up to the value area high and we broke above. So we entered today very bullish. So today I just kind of took a lot of buys coming in here. So let me just show you on my execution platform on this candle right here, the first 5-minute candle. I just entered going long and added to the position a bunch of times, right? And then I took profit up here, and anyway, we'll get to that. So on the first 5-minute candle, just pointing out that I took the momentum run because of this bullish action right here. So this is the 1-hour chart, right, on the ES. So because we broke above value area high, and we broke above the upthrust, we're outside of the range, and we're supposed to be, this would be considered now from here, this would be phase C, where we got support and we started to make that bullish move up to the top of the range and broke out, right? So if this phase D, well, when we broke out, we turned into phase D, right? So the phase C here is when you get the support at this low right here, start to make this bullish move up to the top of the range. And now we enter phase D as we break out, and we're supposed to retest, right? And then continue into phase E. Now, this could be setting up now as a redistribution phase, because this is looking like a false breakout here. Let me just point this out. Right, so this is looking like a major false breakout right here. So we moved all the way back into the range. Now we still have to break below the buying climax, because this level right here at 45.71, this is actually the top of the range. All these upthrusts are just breakouts out of the top of the range, right? So for us to get a real false breakout, this has to break the buying climax and come back into the range. Now, if it doesn't do that, this would be a legit retest in phase D for us to go into phase E and go higher, right? So looking at the volume is looking good in the selling, right? This is the VRSI. This is the what does she call it again? I think it's volume relative strength indicator. That's from quantum trading. Y'all can check that out if y'all want to get that. So what it does is it checks the volume pressure, right? So it doesn't just monitor the volume like this one right here at the bottom. It monitors the volume, but this monitors the volume pressure, right? So I think it's a good indicator to have if you're into volume and stuff like that. So as I was saying, we have to break below the buying climax for it to fall, for it to be a false breakout. If we hold above this level, then this will be a good retest to go long in phase E, right from here. So with that in mind, that's how I took this trade today. Let me just go to the 5-minute chart. 1 second. Right, so I know my chart has a lot of stuff on it, but that's how I read everything, you know. So I know people with very clean charts are like, this is crazy. I can't even look at this. So let me just try and take off some of this stuff here. I'm gonna take off the Camarillas and I'm gonna leave the floor pivot because the floor pivot was actually in play while I was looking at price. Hold on, take off this. All right, I think that's as clean as it's gonna get. So we have R1 here, we have R2 and floor pivot R3, right? So we're starting off here at 9:30, we're above R1. We dip below R1 and we start moving up, right? So as I showed you on my previous on the execution platform, I started to take the longs here on this 5-minute candle. Good volume coming in, a lot of volume pressure and volume, right? So took added a bunch of times coming up here as we're breaking. I think I was taking the long from, let's see, let me look at the execution platform. Let's see, the first entry was 45.89. So let's see what I was looking at here at 45.89. Right, so that's basically, if you could see here, this is actually like a breakout of this upper VWAP band. You see that red band right there? I use that for, it's either resistance. If price runs into that, like you see it run into this here, I'm going to get to these shorts that I took here. When it's either resistance or if it breaks above it, it's definitely bullish, right? So at 45.89 around here, took the breakout of that, added a bunch of times, and I think I stopped out somewhere around here. Let's go to the execution platform again. Right, so this is where I took profits here. Let's see, what is this here? Let me just make this a little bigger. Right, so this was I think I took, this is my last ad right here. Then I took profits here, went short again. So I hope you guys could see that. So this was my last ad. We started to pull back, so I took profit right there, right? Then I flipped, I went short, stopped out when it pulled back a little bit, so that was in profit as well. Took a short here, took profit here, then took a buy right here, right? And stopped out here and started to go short, right? So added to the position here, took a short here and broke even this trade. No, I didn't break even this trade here. Let's see, I took a short here. Took a short here. Yeah, I think I closed this trade right here and let's see. Sometimes I can't remember exactly what I did. But I know I was adding to the short coming down here, right? Adding to the short and then I took profit right here. So basically took the trade long, and then when we started to falter here at the upper VWAP band, let me see, go back to the platform, trading view. Right, so up here you could see we actually ran into resistance up here at 45.95.25, and I was looking somewhere here at 45.94.75 when we actually started to break below the upper VWAP band, and that's when I started to enter short again, right? And just added to the position coming down here until, well, this was a paper trade here. I think I came all the way down to this level. Not sure if I actually held it so much on my actual trade, right? So that's basically how I read the market today. And I was also looking at R2 for resistance, because you see after 15 minutes we started to have trouble right here at R2, right, which is at 45.92.50, right? So let me just switch over to Bookmap, and maybe I could kind of show you guys here. But I won't lie, Bookmap is hard to narrate after the fact. So this is the bullish run up. We had that pullback, came up here to the highs. Let me just see. And the long was very self-explanatory. It was just momentum. But right here, where we started to top out, this is where I started. I was talking about the upper VWAP band. You see how we topped out here at 45.97 and 45.94.75. I actually took a paper trade here as well. If you could, you'll probably see that right there, that little arrow, that little purple arrow right there. That's where I entered. 45.94.75 was the actual short, right? And let's see, it pulled back a little bit, 45.96, and started to drop again. And I don't know if you can see that arrow right there, added to the position here again at 45.94.50, which is another break of the upper VWAP band. And as you can see, we just melted after that, broke R2, came down here. We found some support at what's 45.90, 45.90, and got a little bounce. And then we started to drop down again. And this red line here on Bookmap is VWAP. Let me just use this a little bit, right? So that red line is VWAP. So we broke above VWAP. We weren't getting any buyers right there. You see those small dots for the buyers. So you can see the weakness, right? We had buyers come in here a little bit, but then there's no follow through for any reversal. That's why the sellers took control again, small buying again, no real buyers trying to support price, and the sellers are just taking advantage of that. So you see the big purple bubbles. The sellers are taking control. They're more aggressive, and these small buyers here are getting eaten up, right? So, 1 second. Right, so we started to flush down again. At this point, I was looking for 45.80 as my target, right? So another thing I saw here again for Bookmap traders, I want to point out this is where, when we got support here at 45, roughly 45.84.75, and we started moving up and consolidating, there was an iceberg buyer here who stepped in, right? And he started to execute some shorts right here, because this is a seller right here, right? So he started to execute right there, and to show that he's continuing to execute, this line here starts going across more, right? Because sometimes you would see this pop up here as an iceberg, but it's just one iceberg, and it filled the order, and that was that, right? But when the line starts going across continuously, that means he is continuously executing orders, right? So as you can see, he's moving across here. He's still executing. So that means he's still putting pressure on the short, right? And we came down, we broke down. No buyers are stepping in to really, like here, you can see some buyers came in here, but they really have no power at this point. The shorts the sellers don't even have to apply much pressure. You see, there's not really big selling here. The price is just really cascading on its own momentum at this point, right? We have big sellers here. Let's see. And we continuously move down to my target, which was 45.80, right? I actually took profit here at, I think you can see that there, execution order size 20 at 45.81.25, right? So this was my actual target, but I was hoping to see if it could break below this weekly value area high, right? So the weekly value area high is 45.80.50, as I pointed out before, and we came back right to that point, right? And then you can see prices actually getting some support there for a little bit, right? We broke below it a little bit, but we're getting that consolidation around that value area high for a little bit. We broke below, came down to yesterday's high, retested this value area high, and you can see another iceberg executed right here, and also here, right? But this one didn't execute for that long. Let me just see if I could point this out. So right, that blue line right there, that's the iceberg executing sell orders, right? And right, we broke down again, so they're applying pressure on the sell side. Broke down again heavily. More icebergs executing sell orders right here, right at yesterday's high. You can see this is a certain area where they're actually applying pressure, right, at certain levels. You see yesterday's high, applying pressure there again. And let's see, so we're floating around yesterday's high. As we came back up to 45.80.50 again, around that range, or Camarilla R4, 45.79. You see there's another iceberg executing here again on the sell side. Came back up here, retested the weekly value area high again. Broke down, retest Camarilla R4. And basically consolidated around there for until now. We're just back up here at Camarilla R4. So this could be a possible reaccumulation, or just like a retest. It could be a good retest for price to really break out into phase E, right, and really go long. Because you see what's happening here. We have nice buying, but then again, we have to break out of 45.80.50, right?
Stops run ES.
So let's see what's happening here.
Stops run ES. Stops run ES.
Right, so you hear that stop runs are happening here. The shorts are getting squeezed. And let's see if they get continuation. Because this is good buying right here. And the way I read Bookmap is you gotta judge between the buying and the selling, right? Because this is basically time and sales on a heat map, right? So you want to see the sellers are getting no continuation here, right? Even though we have this big bubble right here, we're not getting a follow through. So let's see if we get a follow through for the sellers. And if you don't get follow through, it's basically exhaustion, right? So that's another inclination to go long, right? So we're having sellers, we're seeing the sellers, but where's the follow through? Are we breaking below 45, 80, 50? Or are the buyers going to break above the top of this little range right here at 45, 81, 75? So let's see which one happens. It's looking like more sellers, but no follow through yet. Because if you look at it here, more sellers, right? We're starting to get some follow through. And let's see if the buyers are going to step in here. We have liquidity here, 271 on the bid. And that's right above Camarilla R4. Again, no follow through. We have a lot of selling going on here with the purple bubbles, but no follow through. So I'm thinking this is probably going to break above. And this liquidity is getting heavier here, 286. You see it's getting darker. And let me just point something out again for the selling pressure, the volume relative strength indicator, right? Let me just show you some here. The selling pressure on the volume, it was getting heavier, right? Coming down to this low, which is also the lower VWAP band, that green line. And now the volume pressure on the selling is starting to ease up, right? Now, if it starts to go green like here, right? That's signs of the reversal happening. And now we're looking at Bookmap and we're getting a more detailed look at how that's taking place, how that's transpiring. And you can see it's around a certain level, which is that weekly value area high, which is a good place to actually go long because it's in an upper value setup. And let's see, how long is this video now? 22 minutes. So let me don't make it too long. Just a little breakdown here. I'm thinking we probably gonna break above here a little bit. Maybe probably retest yesterday's high, but support is coming in here on the book. So if they want to grab this liquidity here at Camarilla R4 before they go up, or it's probably going to break down a little more. So looking at that structure right here, you're having exhaustion here on the selling, right? Because no follow through, big purple bubbles, no follow through. Purple bubbles are getting less and less at these lows, and now we're starting to move
Stocks run
higher,
ES.
right? And that's basically how I read Bookmap for entries around certain levels like weekly value area high and stuff like that, and Camarilla R4. So you can see where the momentum is shifting towards the buy side, you know, and now it's just taking off. Next liquidity here is around 45.84, 45.85. They're probably gonna try and attack that. And this is also overnight VPOC here at 45.85. So maybe a rotation back up to overnight VPOC. And let me just make this smaller so I could point out something here. As you can see, this is the session volume profile, right, on Bookmap. We have a lot of volume going in here on the buy side, right? And now we're here at kind of like a high volume node right here. So it's just for us to move through this low volume area to go back up to these levels here, right? Probably attack that 4600 maybe today, maybe not. All right, y'all. So that's my little breakdown. My trade recap for today. Today is the 29th. It was a good day, man. Let's see. Let me just switch back over. Right, so that was the profit today on the day. Went long, then went short, and had a great day today. All right, y'all. I hope you all had a great day as well. Um, I'm starting to do this Wycoff analysis more often, and it's giving me better context. Like that's what I'm getting a lot from the Wycoff theory. It gives proper context to the market, right? And I'm still using Camarilla pivots, central floor pivots for like my levels of where I want to execute. So that's basically my strategy, using Bookmap for entries and reading order flow on a minute level to see where price is changing. So it actually helps in execution where you can enter really like a sniper, you know what I'm saying? So that was my trade recap. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I'm gonna check you all out tomorrow. All right, you all trade safe and stay blessed.